Welcome back to The Corp. I am your co-host, Big Cat, Dan Katz. You may know me from the #1 sports podcast, Pardon My Take. I'd say it's pretty good. Whatever, some people might not, but I'd say it's pretty good. You go download it right now. You might know my co-host from, 14-time All-Star, 3-time MVP, New York Yankee, Alex Rodriguez. Are you going to say the World Series? Because I always forget the World Series. You make sure to point that out. I love that. Okay, so we have Kobe Bryant. It was an unreal interview. So much fun to go interview Kobe Bryant. He is so intense. I want to do a little debriefing because we're actually taping this right after it. Before we do that, okay, we now welcome on a very special guest. He doesn't need an introduction, but we'll introduce him anyway. 18-time All-Star, 5-time NBA champion. It is Kobe Bryant. We're here at your offices in Newport Beach, and it is the Corp. I'm with, obviously, A-Rod, and I want to start present day and then go backwards. Sure. So you have gone from being a transcendent athlete to an unbelievable businessman, and it's very similar to what A-Rod has been doing with the A-Rod Corp, mostly from my help. But have you noticed, do you attack business the same way as sports? And have you ever had a moment where you're like, I got to chill out because the business world's not like the sports world?
The same, but also different, right? Same in the sense that the attention to detail is there, just like it is in sport, the attention to detail, right? But it's different because of the intensity that you bring. It's not like a game. It's not like practice, right? You have to have patience. You have to challenge people. You have to hire well and find people that have a certain level of, that demand excellence from themselves, right? And have that attention to detail about themselves. Mm-hmm. And then you wind up building a team of people that have that passion and commitment to excellence. So that's the difference, is that now I'm kind of more in a GM position as opposed to being a player that is on the ground floor bringing out the intensity in each guy every single play. It's a little different.
Have you noticed a moment where you're like, I can't be as intense as I was during sports. I can't demand people to be here till midnight or practice without a ball for 3 hours.
Listen, my thing is really simple here is that I expect excellent work. We all do. So I don't care if you're here in the office at 6 a.m. and you leave at midnight. If the work that you do is average, then this is not the home for you. Conversely, you cannot be in the office at all and have excellent work. This is the place for you. Mm-hmm. So I don't really care if you're here. There's a lot of guys that get in the gym and work hard, but then they can't transition that to 7:30.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
I can already tell that I wouldn't make it one day in this office. I'm really good at looking busy, but not doing anything. So
you gotta get results.
So Kobe, one of the things that I've been super impressed with by watching kind of your organization, how you transition, is really the team that you surround yourself with. Whether it's from Brian to Molly to the rest of your team. What are the characteristics that you're looking for to bring into your team? Is it much like you want a teammate for the Lakers, those type of, or what are you looking for specifically?
Yeah, the most important thing is curiosity first. I want curious people that ask questions, that want to figure things out, figure out new ways to do things. Mm-hmm. That's the most important thing. And then from that curiosity, having the determination to see that curiosity through, right? To figure out those steps. And if you figure out, okay, this is a particular course of action that we feel like we should be taking. Has it been done before? No, but that's exciting to me. Let's figure it out. Mm-hmm. Those are the characteristics that I look for, first and foremost.
So you say curiosity. I read a story how you text with business people 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. Yeah. Mike Napoli, I think you do it with people in the tech industry. Yeah. Has anyone been like, yo, Kobe, just chill out? Stop texting.
No, because they're all about as crazy as I am.
Yeah. What is that, though? Is there can you see it in a person the minute you meet him? Like this guy or this woman, they just want it more than everyone else.
I think so. I think you can sense it. You can, when you're having a conversation with somebody, you can tell if they're truly passionate about what it is that they're doing. Yeah,
I have it?
Listen, bro, you can't build what you build and not be that. Right? If you didn't have it, you wouldn't be sitting here with A-Rod anyway, because you don't put up with that shit.
True. I kind of snake my way in, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can certainly recognize that, and you feel a sense of familiarity with that person.
You said, I read a quote that you said you love business as much as basketball. There's no way that's true.
100% true.
There's no way. I mean, basketball was your life, your passion, everything. You're telling me you love doing business as much. If you could, basically snap a finger and be 25-year-old Kobe or the Kobe today, you wouldn't go back and keep playing basketball?
No, because I've already done it. See, here's the thing. When I was playing and teammates would say, Kobe's not out on the road, what is he doing? You see me on the plane, he's reading. What is he reading? He's writing. What is he writing? I'm practicing. I'm writing. I'm practicing. I'm understanding how to tell stories. I'm reading Joseph Campbell, how to create arcs, compelling arcs and plots. I'm reading that stuff. So this is going back 15 years, right? So I don't just retire right there basketball and luck into winning an Oscar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That stuff comes from hard work and from studying for 15 years how to write and how to organize structure, right? And you can't do that without having a serious love or commitment to the craft.
And that's, I mean, Alex has told the story, but, your rookie year in Seattle when you started investing in real estate and basically while you were playing baseball, also getting, working in business and learning the ropes in business.
Yeah, I know. Kobe and I have so much in common. We kind of came up at the same time. But one of the things we have in common is we would show up at universities. And I know he would show up at Duke. I took classes at Columbia Business School, Miami Business School. And people are like, why aren't you in a yacht? Why aren't you on vacation? I'm like, I'm practicing. I'm getting ready. I don't know when they're going to kick me out of this game. And at the same time, it's not just about moving forward, but also it's about having fun. I agree with Kobe. I sometimes forget that I played basketball in Major League baseball for 23 years.
Yeah.
Because I'm so excited in the moment.
Yeah.
That sounds really weird to people.
Right.
They think we're lying.
It does.
It's really
I
weird.
feel like you're
How's
lying.
that possible? There's no way, man. I remember I said, I told somebody, I said, listen, if what I do in the next 20 years is not better than my last 20, then I failed. Like, that's disrespectful to what you've done the last 20 years. How could you say, oh man, I wouldn't accomplish what I accomplished my last 20 years if I did not have this mentality to begin with. So.
Yeah, I mean, it does sound. I think to the average person like myself, it's crazy because obviously a dream when you were a kid was to play professional sports, so you couldn't imagine anything higher than that.
Yeah.
And then you guys obviously lived it, and then you move on, and it's like, well, this is the next chapter. I want to go back real quick though, Duke. Where would you have ranked on the most hated Duke players if you had gone to Duke?
Probably number one.
I mean, probably not more than Christian Leighton. Yeah, maybe 2, 3. You would have gone to Duke though?
Well, here's the story about that. Is Coach K kept recruiting. He kept recruiting. He didn't just resign to the fact that I'm going to go pro. He was persistent about it. So at that moment in time, for me to make a decision and say, okay, you know what, I'm not going to go pro, it would have been Duke because Coach K just kept on and kept it on. Roy Williams did too when he was at Kansas. Dean Smith did not. Dean sent me a letter, and he was like, hey, listen, this is a home for you, but from what I hear, you're good enough to go pro, and you probably will, so I don't want to waste your time. But, this is a home for you if you ever want to take a visit here and change your mind or whatever.
How about Bobby Knight?
I did get a letter from Bobby Knight, but that wasn't something that I was.
I would imagine he does like reverse psychology, like you stink, Kobe. You could never play for me.
Yeah, that's Phil Jackson does that too.
Yeah, right.
By the way, he just does it from the media.
So that's interesting though because you obviously decide. Was it a hard decision, like I'm going pro, or did you just know? Because A-Rod obviously did the same thing.
Yeah.
As a young kid, 17, 18, going to be a pro athlete.
It was a tough decision. Ultimately, the key factor for me wasn't whether or not I was ready. It was the fact that if I wasn't ready, I was determined to figure out how to get ready. And ultimately, even if I was ready, I still need to improve anyway. Right? So the work's not going to stop. It was just a matter of, do you want to come to the league and learn from the best? And I'm doing the math in my head. I'm looking at Stockton, how many years he's playing, Drexler, how many years he's playing, MJ, how many years more he's playing, Hakeem. These are players that I studied growing up. And the best way to learn from them is to have that jump off of the film, jump off of the page, and see it face to face. That's the best way to learn. Because it was like a database. I had everything in my mind of what they could do, what they didn't like to do, where they did it, when they did it. Now, if I could see that up close, that is the greatest form of education that I could possibly receive. So that's when I was like, no, I'm going to go pro.
So that's interesting because I think there's a sports debate that's had a lot where a guy, it's more happens in the NFL where a quarterback comes out and people will say, well, he was in the wrong system and his offensive line stunk right away and it kind of ruined his career. Do you think with what you just said, it sounds like you think that if you're going to make it, you're going to make it no matter what. And if there's no like, oh, well, things didn't go your way the first year and it ruined the trajectory of your career. It's either you have it or you don't.
That sounds like excuses to me. I mean, you got to figure it out, right? If you really have an obsession to figure it out, you will figure it out, right? And every puzzle is constructed differently, right? AI's situation when he came into the league was different than mine. Mike's situation in Chicago was different than mine. Right? Everybody has a different puzzle, man. You just got to figure out your own puzzle.
It's interesting to think about like the sliding doors of like if you stay at Charlotte,
right.
or if you know what I mean,
right.
You know, or we can talk about it now. The Bulls. I've always been intrigued because I'm a Bulls fan. There were two different times where it was like Kobe's coming to the Bulls.
Yeah.
And in 2004, and 2007. Even in 2007, it was even into the season. I remember you had that video too, like buy a Bulls jersey, fellas.
Yeah.
Like saying, if you want to be a Kobe fan, when you were thinking about going to the Bulls, there's always this narrative no one wants to play in Michael's shadow. Were you thinking, no, I want to be in Chicago and go past Michael?
No, I was thinking like if you're going to be a great franchise, you have to have multiple great players. That's what the Lakers have done. You don't hear that narrative in LA.
Yeah.
You had Jerry, you had Elgin, you had Magic, you had myself, you had Kareem, you had Shaq. I mean, you got LeBron. I mean, it's just one of those franchises that continue. Yankees too, right? So why are the Bulls any different?
Right.
Just because you're at Michael, now everybody's intimidated to go play by it. That's ridiculous.
Well, I obviously I think the narrative is basically made so that the front office can get a pass for never signing. That's really what it comes down to.
That's probably true.
But you were ready to do it. I mean, was there a part of you mentally that was like, I'm going to be a Bull?
Yeah. Like we were planning, looking at homes, schools, the whole thing.
That's crazy.
Wow.
The whole thing, man.
Yeah.
So, I know that Jerry West, Michael Jordan was like a big brother to you.
Yeah.
Brian Shaw, I know there's a lot of people that influenced you in a big way, and we're going to get to that. But in the business community, some of the Titans you've talked to, tell us some of the people you've learned from the most and some of the people that have mentored you the most and some of the people you look up to.
Yeah, so the people I've learned from the most, when I had the idea of first starting a studio, the first person I called was Oprah Winfrey. And we sat on the phone about an hour and a half, 2 hours, went through the history of building Harper and things that she felt she did well, things that she felt like she didn't do so well, and kind of walked me through her journey to help me on mine. Another person is Mark Parker, CEO of Nike. He and I speak often, and he's really helped me through a lot of decisions. Tim Cook and Johnny Ives, Apple. So I would say those 3 are the biggest ones that have had the most influence in what I'm currently building now.
Any common theme between those three that you kept saying, they keep saying the same similar
The
thing?
amount of mistakes that are made, right? Because we tend to look at them and say, okay, they don't make mistakes, they don't make bad decisions. And that couldn't be any further from the truth. You all make mistakes, you all make decisions, and you just continue to plow forward. Continue to figure it out.
I don't recognize you people with your fucking hats.
So
like,
I wanted
fucking all
to
look the same.
touch
I don't know.
on the evolution of you as a teammate. In 2004, Phil Jackson writes the book.
Yeah.
What's up with the whole
Kobe's
hat
I'm
thing?
still waiting on my royalties.
Yeah, he says Kobe's uncoachable. What was your reaction in that
didn't
moment
you do
when
it
you
at
see that, you
Cub
read that, a guy that you
Y'all look
have a
retarded.
relationship with and had success with?
I was frustrated by it. You know what I mean? Because it was always a type of relationship where it was like, for me,
Reminds me
it's
of when Beavis
just
and Butthead
come at
like
me
pulled the
direct.
fucking shirt up and
You
they're
know,
like,
you don't have to do that, so you can just hash this out, me. And he would rather not do that because that's uncomfortable, right? He'd rather go to the media and do it. So a lot of the stuff that I read in the book was the first time I've ever heard any of this stuff. I'm like, dude, I'm literally right here,
Right.
So when he came back, that's one of the things that he said. He apologized for it. Listen, I understand. We should just have a direct relationship, and that's how we were able to kind of move forward. It was really frustrating, man.
The apology is good, but the royalty would be nice too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I told him, I said, this is like your third book on me now.
Right.
Like, come on, man. Like,
I'm gonna write a book on this, like 45 minutes.
yeah, like, where's my royalty
Yeah, no,
check?
it's gonna be great. Was there any truth to it though? Do you think was there a moment when you read that and you had to, kind of take a look at yourself and be like, maybe I am not the best teammate? Because there's always this really interesting line to me when you're watching, athletes at their highest level.
Yeah.
A guy who is a clear alpha leader, he runs the team. There's that line of, is he from, like, his ego is out of control to he just wants the most out of people.
Right.
Like Michael Jordan punched Steve Kerr in the face. Like, there's stories of you pushing your teammates and maybe getting some of them kind of crumble in the moment.
Yeah.
Did you see that and kind of reflect and say, hey, maybe I need to do this differently?
Well, I think there's a couple answers to that. So, drive a hard bargain. The people that I've always had issues or problems with are the people that don't demand excellence for themselves. I won't tolerate that. So I think when the career is said and done, they're not going to be looking at you, a player on the team, and saying, you didn't win a championship. No, they're going to be looking here, right? So it's my responsibility to make sure everybody's holding themselves accountable.
Y'all might
I'm
want to
holding
watch
you
out.
accountable.
If
If you
Vinny
just
makes
played
this
a
bump, y'all might
back-to-back,
get roasted.
when you have practice the next day, your ass better be there, tape ready to go, right? Because I'm there and I'm ready. And I just got finished lifting weights for 2 hours, right? So I hold guys to a higher standard, and I don't sugarcoat stuff. Never have, never will, right? That tends to rub some people the wrong way. Now, teams that we won championships on, me and all of those guys, still close to this day, extremely close, right? Lamar and I still close.
Fisher.
Shannon Brown, B-Fish, all of my guys.
Shaq.
We're all Shaq, right? Even Shaq.
Did you
Powell.
win a championship with Smush Parker?
No, he and I don't talk, by the way.
I was going to
So,
say,
yeah,
that answers that question.
That's one of the people that would probably say I was a bad teammate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But most of the other guys, man, that you wind up having this bond. So, you can't have those kind of relationships with guys years after playing with them and be a bad teammate.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
It's funny. I want to piggyback on that because it was so true. I wasn't as fortunate to win that many championships or as good to win as many championships as Kobe. But in '09, that roster, they're like 24 brothers. And to this day, if one of them texts me right back, within 5 minutes, I'm hitting them back. Because you build this incredible bond that only the one of the, in our case, 25, I think 12 in your case, is this bond that never goes away. And all of a sudden, you become a good teammate.
Yeah.
You become nice. You become this. But it's a hard line between the best leaders are not always the most popular ones. And I think sometimes people have a hard time
They
determining.
do. And I'll give you a story of the stuff that was frustrating. The whole selfishness stuff and all that stuff was frustrating. Phil would come to me and say, there was a year there in '03 where I had 40 points in 9 straight games. Shaq was out. It was a toe thing. So Phil comes to me before the stretch and says, Kobe, we need you to take over the offense. I'm like, all right, cool. So that literally,
Say no more.
I got it. Fine, I got it. So that literally started the streak of 40 straight games, 40 points in 9 straight games. Shaq comes back from injury, and Phil goes, I still continue to do it, right? And then Phil calls me to his office, goes, hey, we're starting to lose the big fella. What do you mean? Well, he's not getting the attention. This 40-point streak is starting to kind of take away his fire to prove something, right? So I need you to start dialing it back. I'm like, what? He says, we're going to lose him, and we need him in June. Okay. All right. You have a game against the Clippers. I think I like 38 or something like that. And I had a chance to score 40 and get 40 again. It was a blowout game. I dumped the ball in the Shaq instead of shooting a wide open shot. The 40-point streak ended that night.
Wow.
That was it. And that's inside stuff that people don't know.
Right.
So you tell me you went into
people
Phil's
don't
office
know.
and said, are you happy
Yes.
now?
Yeah.
Because Phil was like, hey, we got to dial it back. Got to dial it back. We're
You
starting to
that's
lose the big fella.
Perfect Kobe, too. He's like, you got to dial it back. You're like, all right, I'll score 38 instead of 40.
Well, this is the streak thing. It would have been 10 in a row. I would have broke the record.
Right.
I would have broke the record, but instead.
What do you think? Your relationship with Shaq, I feel like, is one of the most intriguing relationships in all pro sports.
Yeah.
Were you guys ever at a point where you just wouldn't even speak?
No, because we were very direct. Like I said before, I'm very straightforward. Right? I don't care if you're 7'2" or 6'2". If I got an issue with you, I'm gonna let you know. So no. So we're always speaking. Just sometimes it's more volatile than others.
Right.
But we're always speaking, always direct.
Yeah. So, and when that all falls apart, What was your biggest, like, where would you say the biggest problem with your communication? Was it, Shaq not coming to
No, it wasn't.
season in shape?
Well, it's funny. When we sat down, we did the interview together. He finally copped to the fact that after we won championships, he was like, okay, I can just relax and coast over the summer because I know I got a teammate who's going to be training 8-10 hours a day. I was like, see, that's the BS.
That would piss me off.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Right.
That's the issue. But also, it became it's not something that we couldn't have worked out either.
Right.
We've been doing it, right? But I got to a point in my career where it was the rumblings, and some of it created by him that Kobe can't win without me. And it was like, hold up. No, it's not true.
Right.
It's not true.
Right.
And I'm not going to retire and have people hold that over my head. I said, no, let's find out.
Yeah.
So it was just time to go separate ways.
So that really did bother you, and it's interesting because in today's NBA, I mean, you see a guy like Kevin Durant go to Golden State.
Yeah.
You would never have made that move.
No, I wouldn't have. But, different strokes for different folks, man. When I was coming up, it was Kobe can't win without Shaq. But I've never heard that argument made about Magic and Kareem.
Right.
Or Michael and Pitt.
Right.
But that was the thing being thrown my way. And I was like, all right, well, it is what it is. Let's see.
Do you think that you got criticized more than a guy like Kevin Durant or the guys who are playing now?
No, at the moment, it's all different according to the moment in time. Right? It always seems like more when you're in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's no more, no less. I think now with social media, things tend to perpetuate much, much faster. But back then, conversely, the stories tend to sit a lot longer.
Right.
There's less fires coming.
Yeah. Do you understand on social media that you have the craziest fan base of all time?
I understand that my fans are very passionate.
The Kobe stands are insane. They're insane.
I have a passionate following.
Like, they are insane whenever the MJ LeBron thing comes up.
Yeah.
The Kobe stands, like, they poke out their head out from under the bush and they're like just attacking.
Yeah, I have passionate fans.
Was there a part of you when LeBron came here seeing maybe some of the Lakers fans be like, no, Kobe's our guy? You did that? I mean, obviously you want to welcome LeBron, but it shows your impact on the team and the organization.
No, I mean, my impact on this organization is to look forward. If I've taught this fan base anything, is that we want excellence, we want championships, and it's about the purple and gold. It's not about one player. And I came in here with Magic, and Magic embraced me with open arms, as did Kareem and Worthy and everybody else, and Jerry West and Elgin and all those guys. It's our responsibility to do the same thing for the next generation that comes in. And I take that stuff deadly seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, guys, we need more championships.
Yeah.
Talking about deadly serious, I mean, all you got to do in any conversation if it's getting boring, all you got to say is Kobe LeBron, Kobe Michael, Kobe any of that. I've been a Michael guy my whole life.
Yeah, I mean, he's the GOAT.
And
Who's the GOAT?
See, that's the type of immature question.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's who's the GOAT. I'm the regular sports fan. This is what we talk about.
I know, this is what regular fans talk about. I get it.
You don't. So you're saying you're the GOAT?
What I'm saying is regular people ask really simple questions sometimes. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And
All right.
because I'm not a basketball expert, I just say I'm a Kobe guy. And people, they want to debate. I don't debate. I just say I'm a Kobe guy.
Well, here's a fun fact for you, Kobe. LeBron has as many losses in the finals as Michael Jordan has wins in the finals.
I don't care.
So I do want to talk about mentorship, Kobe, because I know that mentorship has been a big part of your life, both you as a mentor and as a mentee.
Yeah.
But one of the interesting things for me, being a 6'3" shortstop coming up out of Miami, I had one guy to look at because I was scared as fuck that they were going to move me, and I'm like, to third base or to the outfield. I'm like, no, I can play shortstop. You got to leave me. Look at Cal. So I studied. Back in the day, we had the tapes. We didn't have all the
I remember that. Yeah.
And I studied every tape I can get my hands on, and I would go at night visualizing how he moved his body. He was 6'4", 230. That was enormous for a shortstop. And not only did I study him, people said, well, you're starting to look like him. And I'm like, yeah, that's right, because I want to be like him.
Right.
And then Cal and I became very, very close. And I remember one trip we went to Japan, representing the U.S., and I literally sat in his seat next to him for like 10 hours. And he said, finally, dude, I got to tap out of it. I need a nap. And I was so enamored by him. So it was such a wonderful treat for me to have that with my mentor. Kind of take us behind kind of the current with Michael. Was there ever a moment that you guys spoke that you felt like it energized you and you learned from him?
Yeah, it was crazy, man, because my favorite player was Magic growing up. And then I quickly realized my father stole all my height. I wasn't going to be a 6'9" point guard. So I had to, so look at this young guy coming up. And the thing that I marveled at wasn't the fact that he was getting to the rim and doing these fancy stuff. It was like, how is he getting to the rim? How is he doing it? Right? You look at the footwork, you look at the fundamentals, you look at the spacing, the pacing, right? And all those little things, the angles. And that's what becomes fascinating. It's like, okay, how do I get there? Right? So I started studying all those basics. And then when I came to the league, the first time I played against him, I won his respect because it was like, this kid's not scared of me at all. Right? And he saw kindred spirit from that standpoint. And that started a relationship. And it became something where it was like, text him anytime, hits me right back. Questions, hits me right back. And we're talking all the time. And in fact, we were just speaking the other day, in fact, because I was talking about, he hit me up, say happy Thanksgiving and stuff, and how's family doing, how the kids doing. You know, my middle child is playing basketball and stuff, right? She was asking about it, how she's doing. I said, she's good. And I said, at 12, I'm like having a hard time remembering what I was doing in basketball at 12. And I'm like, kids nowadays try to do too much. Like from a skill standpoint, they try to have them do all this fancy stuff versus like the basic stuff. And so I teach my kids the most basic stuff and just do it over and over. But I asked Mike, I said, what were you doing at 12? You remember what you were doing at basketball at 12? And he goes, dude, I was playing baseball.
Yeah.
That's right.
Let that sink in for a second.
That was his
like
dad's
for people out there who are like overtraining their kids at 12 and like doing all this fancy stuff. Just let that sink in for a second.
That's a good point. Yeah, it's crazy to think about.
Yeah, but he's a great mentor from all aspects.
I love Michael.
Yeah,
all aspects.
I mean, I love him too. But I don't know why. I don't know why I said Michael earlier. Like I know him. I probably should put a little respect on it.
Are you
the GOAT.
Michael got stands too.
Yeah, Michael
got stands.
Listen,
too.
I'll stand all the time. I gave you that LeBron stat. You don't think that I've said that to like everyone I come across?
Here's the thing though, man, is that like things that MJ was doing, he learned from David Thompson and Jerry and those guys. Stuff that I've done, I've learned from MJ. Stuff that Bron does, learned from me and playing on the Olympic team and the work ethic and all that stuff. It's a chain thing, man. I know people want to talk about who's this, who's that, because it fills up good conversation time or downtime, whatever the case may be. But for us as athletes, it's really a chain reaction. You can't have one without the other. It's just not possible.
That's a good point. That's a good point. What did you see the Jimmy Butler stuff? He, obviously he demanded a trade.
Yeah.
He went and beat the starters with the third stringers.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are saying that's kind of a Kobe or MJ move, where it's like he's pushing his team and saying, "You need me." Did you think that was a move that you would do, or something that was detrimental?
I think most of my teams would just call it a Monday.
taking the third stringers and beating
on
the
a
first
Monday.
game?
It's just a regular practice.
Yeah, I mean, well, I read a story that you used to play guys to 100. You'd be like, you have to stay in this gym and play me to 100. And I mean, what was the biggest margin of victory you'd ever win?
In high school, I used to spot guys 99. No kidding. But listen, these practices are meant to be competitive. They're meant to be competitive. If your practices are more competitive than the games themselves, you're doing the wrong thing. And most of these teams and coaches have gotten into a mindset of resting players. Oh, it's too much. We're not going to practice light day. Phil never gave us a light day. There's no days off. You show up and you work. You practice. And practices are going to be worse. They're going to be more physical. There's going to be more trash talking. And I'm going to let you know. Right? If you didn't show up today, I'm going to let you know. And it's going to be embarrassing. And you're going to hate it. But when Game 7 rolls around, the NBA Finals, you will be prepared.
Who would win one-on-one? Number 8 Kobe versus number 24 Kobe to 100.
I would say number 8 would win.
Okay.
I would say number 8 would win. 2003, number 8.
Yeah. The 40-point streak.
Yeah.
That had to be cut short.
Yeah. That's the only trash talking me and MJ have had, by the way. It's his 91 MJ versus my 03.
Yes. Yeah. You said that Tony Allen was the toughest guy to defend you. Who was the toughest guy to defend?
Kevin Durant.
Okay.
Kevin Durant. That was the one that I retired without really being able to figure out what it is that he how I can stop
Yeah,
him.
what happened, Smitty?
When he first came in the league, he was easy to defend because he couldn't go right and shoot. He used to kind of shoot across his face, so that was a weakness that he had. Also in the post, he couldn't turn left shoulder. Everything was right shoulder. So that gave me areas that I could shut off. Right, then he started developing. Now he can pull up left, he can pull up right, he can shoot the long ball. He has runners, left hand, right hand. Before he had a left hand finish at the rim, I could always send him left, force him all the way to the basket.
Keep
even
shooting
with
them
the
more. They
advantage of his
fucking shot the
size, he was
piss out of
still
my fucking
uncomfortable
camera.
finishing with his left. So I could clamp the right hand and now force him into tough situations. But now he developed that. So then I couldn't really figure out, is this a rhythm thing? I'm trying to count the seconds that he takes to make his moves. When does he make them? At what times in the game? I couldn't really figure out that rhythm yet. So I retired not being able to figure him out.
When you say Tony Allen was the toughest to guard you, where does Ruben Patterson, the Kobe stopper, the original Kobe stopper?
No, he's not on the list. I mean, look, Rube.
That's my favorite thing
I know.
ever.
Listen,
The
I love
Kobe
Rube.
stopper.
So when Rube and I played together, he was the one player that would compete against me hard every day. And he would show up every day. He had that kind of Bob Huggins, Cincinnati, tough mindset type of thing, right? So I love that about him. But then now he's a free agent, and now he's like, oh yeah, I'm a Kobe stopper. I used to lock him up in practice. So I called him up. I said, Rube, dude, if you need help with the new deal, let me know. Like, I will go to the media and be like, yo, nobody guarded me better than Ruben Patterson. I see this guy every day in practice. I will help you with your new deal.
Right.
But now you done pissed me off.
Yeah.
Because now you didn't let me know. Now you went out there and mouthed off. Now I got to kill you every time I play you, and it's not going to be a good situation for you.
I love the every now and then, like, someone will be like, I'm the new Kobe stopper. And it's like, what are you doing? You're just making it worse for yourself.
Man, my favorite thing was seeing Sean Kemp before a playoff game. Ruben Patterson had his feet in the ice bucket.
Yes, I remember that.
The Kobe stopper.
The Kobe stopper.
All right, come take this 45.
I remember that video. Yeah.
Come take this 45.
Yeah, that was the NBA on NBC. The intro.
it
He's
was
sitting
like,
with the ice bucket, the Kobe stopper.
So
Kobe stopper.
Yeah.
another thing we have in common is that, we had knee issues. A lot of people don't know that I'm very grateful because my knees were banged up, and you said, Alex, you got to go see my guy in Germany.
Yeah.
So I went to see Dr. Peter Welling. And literally, since you sent me there, my knee has not hurt. We won a championship. We've done probably played the last 5 years pain-free. Tell us a little bit about your routine. You were in Newport Beach, and you would take a helicopter. Walk us through it and why and how that started. A lot of people don't know that story.
Yeah, so I always get to practice really early. My routine is always the same. I wake up 4 in the morning, and I lift weights really early, 5 in the morning. Get home at about 6:30 in time to wake up the kids for school. And then I take the kids to school every morning. That's what I do. I take them to school, and then after I take them to school, I go to practice. I drive to practice. And this is before people started really moving down south. So I can get down to LA in 30, 40 minutes, right? So I practice, I'd stay late after practice, get my shots up, treatment up, drive back. I can get back in time to pick the kids up from school, after school activities, all that fun stuff, even on weekends. But then traffic started getting really, really bad, right? And I was sitting in traffic, and I wound up missing like a school play because I was sitting in traffic, and this thing just kept mounting. I had to figure out a way where I could still train and focus on the craft, but still not compromise family time. And so that's when I looked into helicopters and be able to get down and back in 15 minutes. And that's when it started. And so my routine was always the same. Weights early in the morning, kids to school, fly down, practice like crazy, do my extra work, media, everything I needed to do, fly back, get back in carpool line, pick the kids up. And my wife was like, listen, I can pick them up. I'm like, no. I want to do that because you have road trips and times where you don't see your kids, man,
Right.
So every chance I get to see them and spend time with them, even if it's 20 minutes in the car, I want that, right? So that would be my routine.
So no nap, though, because you had no nap because you didn't have time for that.
If I was tired, I'd take a nap.
Yeah.
I pick them up from school, right? Go home, I lay down for about an hour or so, and then I go to the game. But that wasn't like a set routine for me. If I was tired, I went to sleep. If I wasn't, I didn't.
So what about if you had a road game, say in Miami?
Yeah.
7:30 game. Same, you get up early and do weights?
Get up early, do weights, right? Have a breakfast, get on the bus, go to shoot around, get your shots up, come back to the room, do treatment, ice, stretch. I may watch a movie. I may watch a little extra film, depending on
And
the
what
game.
time would be the bus to the stadium?
So we had 2 buses. The first bus was generally 4:30, 4:45. Second bus was generally like 5:30.
Which bus were you on?
generally the early one.
Just to get treatment and get ready.
Just to get treatment and get shots up. Because I like getting the arenas, and sometimes I will actually get a car and leave before the first bus. Because even though the first bus is leaving early, there's still people in the stands coming.
Yeah.
And I like getting to arenas when there's nobody in there, and you can kind of feel the purity of the place. You know, especially in a road environment.
Like Hoosiers,
Yeah, when
Sounds
nobody's
great.
there, you know what I mean? There's a certain
Yeah.
purity to that.
And your routine at that time, how many shots are you trying to get up at that time?
So it depends. So like if I was playing the Spurs, for example, the amount of shots varies, depends on how I'm feeling physically. But the spots, if I was playing the Spurs, were always like short porch, right? Short corner shots, mid-elbow shots, those type of shots, because those are the shots that they'll give up. They'll always give up. Or, you know, screen roll action, Tim is always backing up, you got a little short pull-up, right? So I would go through those. And then if I was playing like Memphis, and got to wrestle with Tony Allen, I work on a lot of back-to-basket stuff, right? Putting my body on Tony, making sure my foot works right to elevate, make sure I'm hiding the ball that he can't swipe and take it, going through those muscle memory things. So the positions of the shots will vary depending on the opponent.
All right, you have to go in a second because you are a very busy man. I'm gonna do rapid fire real quick.
All right.
Just give me one word, one
Got
sentence
it.
answers. Matt Barnes incident. It went re-viral. Was he actually throwing the ball and pump faking it right in your face?
Man, as far as I remember, yeah. I mean, all I can go by is what Matt said. I mean,
Okay.
I just saw him. I just worked out his kids out here like a week ago for their birthday, and he was just, you know, when he first came to the Lakers, he was like, man, I don't understand how the hell you did not flinch.
Okay, so he was doing it right in your face. That one, people were ruining a great memory. Mark Madsen dancing.
A real life E-Lane dance move from Seinfeld.
That's good. That's a good one. Your 2000 rap album. Were you just like, fuck it, I can do anything?
It was poetic.
Yeah,
it was poetic. No, it wasn't that bad. The album itself wasn't that bad. The album itself wasn't that bad, but it taught me how to write.
Okay. The Kobe 2s, the worst shoe of all time.
Kobe 2s, which ones?
No, I'll show you a picture. You
Nike
know.
ones?
No.
The other company? Oh, that
Those-
doesn't count.
Yeah, those count.
That company
What do
doesn't
you-
count.
What do you count?
That company doesn't count.
The worst shoes of all time.
No,
What about this?
that's what taught me that I need to lead the design charge.
That picture. What was the thought
picture's
process?
awesome.
This is like the A-Rod taking
Dude, they doctored
kissing himself in the
Bruh,
mirror.
They doctored the hell out of that.
Was there
picture, dude.
was there a photographer being like, Kobe, this
First of all, listen, I'm an African American, but I am not that dark. Let's start there. And then the hat and the wardrobe and all that, like, you know, it's,
yeah, the photographer.
somebody took liberties.
Yes, that's when he took the picture of himself, A-Rod kissing himself in the mirror. He's like, yeah, photographer's like, this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Then it comes out, you're like, whoops.
Yeah.
All right, what about the Lil Wayne song, Kobe Bryant? Do you listen to it every day?
Every day in the car, I listen to it. It hypes me up. Yo, he called me.
Yeah,
After,
you
it was
do.
after, it was
That,
after
like,
the
was-
Denver series. He called me. He's like, man, that performance just motivated the hell out of me. I think it was like Game 6. I said, I'm gonna do a song. I was just, okay, can I do a song? I'm like, all right, cool. And I thought he was just kind of BSing or whatever. Before the Celtics series, he sends me the song. I was like, oh, you were serious?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
it's a
pretty
thing.
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
2002 Western Conference Finals. Was it rigged?
Well, what's the official's name?
Tim Donaghy.
He definitely had money on it.
Yep.
So that's a fact.
Yes. Yes.
So from that standpoint, yes.
Yes.
But from the Kings missing 20-something free throws in Game 7,
Good point. Good
you know,
point.
unless you
People
go and
forget
check
that.
their bank accounts, I don't know what else to tell you.
People forget that. All right. Last one for me. Has there ever been a triple team you didn't want to shoot a shot?
Such a normal, average person question.
Oh, come on.
It is. It's
No,
such an
you just
average
don't like the
person to
question
ask.
because you know it's true. You like,
That's such an average person.
like,
to ask.
hey,
by
you
the
come
way,
over,
I mean,
triple team me, then I'll shoot.
you're a Michael Jordan stan. Yeah?
Yes.
If a player today took 49 shots in the NBA Finals game and their team lost, what would you say?
Well, I'd say he probably, that
Just
player
think- just
sounds
think.
like he went 6-0 in NBA Finals.
Just think about it.
Yeah.
Just think about it.
That's what that sounds like.
Just think about it. I'm just saying, revisionist history sometimes.
People, the revisionist history is actually going the wrong way, though, because I think people are starting to, like, say Michael Jordan played against no one, and the NBA
No,
was
here's the thing.
bums and all
At
this
the end of the day, what he and I always say, at the end of the day, our goal and our mission, Magic, Spurs, everybody's, is to win championship. That's it. I don't care how you get there. I don't care what you do to get there. I don't care if you gotta pick up a team. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you yell at everything. It doesn't matter. goals to win. Period.
Yeah.
So, Kobe, I want to first of all say thank you for Dan and I, and I've always been a long-time admirer. Thank you for being such a good friend, and also to continue to set the gold standard, not only for athletes, but for retired athletes. So thank you and continue great success.
Appreciate it, my man. Thank you.
And the triple team question was a good question.
Well, it depends who's on the team. If I got Smush Parker lagging behind me to shoot,
you'll shoot
you
every
best
time.
believe I'm shooting that motherfucker.
100 shots.
If I got D Fish back there, I'm kicking that shit back. 100%.
But no, he just moved over. Like I just tucked in, and then like I can just, he started to come around, and I try to shoot at him, but he got on me.
That's fine. Sometimes you got a gun battle in situations, but also, you know what? He made you hit. Oh shit. So maybe instead of gun battle, he should resurface. You know what I'm saying? Recenter himself. Make a call out rather than trying to fight. You know what I mean?
Well, he was moving and shooting at me. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't that like he was on a bunker. Like he literally like popped and like.
You must have been exposed to that like a lot. If you're tight in the snake, you shouldn't be able to hit you on the run.
I was like this.
You know what I'm saying?
I was on this bunker from here, but he came from that way. So he shot at me from basically like what would have been over here.
Pretty much, I'm going to say your body is really exposed from what I'm sounding. Because there's no way he should have hit you on the run moving. so hard to get by that.
Hey, the alpha's on the cross button.
We need to get into the 400.
Hey, 40! 40! 40! Hey, Chris, the wing! Chris, the wing! Hey, Smitty, the wing!
You're the community.
Hey, kill him, Bravo! Kill him, Bravo! Kill him, Bravo! Hey, Chris, he's in the wing, bud! In the wing! What? The wing? Hey, no, he's inside. Hey, caution to 5. Caution to 5. Caution to God. Hey, sit corner! Sit corner! Hey, it's a home. It's the alpha, bud. Hey, it might be the home, actually. Hey, I think it's a home, Chris. Home! Home! The home! Hey, caution the break. Caution the break, Chris. Hey, Chris, protect yourself. Hey, the corner's still. Hey, the corner's on the bud. Hey, the corner's looking D-White. Hey, the break! The break! The break! The break! The break! Hey, he might have backed up. He might have went to the 50. Hey, he's in the break, bud. Hey, home, Chris, get the home. Chris, kill the home. Go, bud. Where?
Game. 5 alive.